Hi guys, today I'm going to discuss about a advanced concept of JavaScript that is called typed array. So in this video we are going to concentrate on the theory part, and in the next video I'm going to actually code it. So let's understand the concept of the typed array. Let's have an introduction first. Like the JavaScript typed array are actually array-like objects. So it actually gives us access to read and write into binary memory buffers. Okay. So each entry in a typed array is actually a raw binary value. And this binary value can be formatted as 8-bit integers into 16-bit integers or 32-bit integer or 64-bit integer according to our will. So how we are going to use that buffer? So don't get this concept that this typed array is also an array. So we can also test that if we run the, like, suppose a array is array concept. If array is array onto a typed array, that is going to give us a false value because it's not an array. And obviously we cannot perform any mechanism, any methods, or any higher order array functions onto like typed arrays or like post pop or anything until unless we convert that typed array into a normal array. After that we can obviously perform all those operations. So the typed array architecture something like is divided between two parts. Like first allocating the buffer memory that is allocated in the terms of bytes, and there is a data view. It's a view to actually access that buffer. So without the view, we cannot access it contents. So there we cannot perform no mechanism onto on those buffers. So we have to get a view so that we can get into that memory. Let's have a clear picture onto the memory representation of the array buffer. Suppose we create a buffer array of 16 byte. So that will be like 128 bit of memory. Okay. So in that part, if I want a view of that memory in terms of unassigned integer 8-bit values, then I'm going to get obviously 16. I can allow like push elements of 16 values. So if I will create like a integer of 16-bit value, then obviously I will end up with getting 8 elements. So however you want to design that 16 bytes of memory, that buffer memory, we can allocate on according to your will. So obviously, as we discussed, like we have to first allocate the array buffer, then a data view. So it will give you a fixed length binary data buffer, and you cannot directly manipulate the content. For a data view can manipulate the content, you have to first initialize that view according to the bit system you defined before. So these many types of array views is given by JavaScript to create any view from that buffer. So whatever buffer memory you have created using array buffer, and this many kinds of view JavaScript provides us with. So every type of like integer 8, integer 16, unassigned integer 8, unassigned integer 16, and big int, big unassigned int 64, everything. Okay, so you can get all those information on JavaScript documentation given by Mozilla, and I will put a link to that in the description of this video. So let's have a sample example, like how a simple data structure is going to be implemented using this concept. So I will create a variable and allocate 16 bytes of memory in a buffer. And then, as I explained, like we have to create a view. So, so my view type will be integer of 32-bit. So the 32-bit I'm going to create a 32 bits element array using that buffer. So how many elements I can push into that? Okay, this is like a task to you. You can figure it out on yourself. Okay, and I'll obviously going to put that like answer in the description. So, as we all know, like there are complex data structures in C, like a structure. So, a structure can hold a different types of like data types in a bucket. So, we can do the same exact thing in the JavaScript. So, suppose here is a structure of like say strong struct with three types of data types, like a honest and long ID, then a character array, then a float value. So same thing we can do with a buffer of suppose a 24 byte allocated memory as a buffer, a array buffer. Then I can assign like from that buffer that from 0 to 1 byte I'm going to initialize a view of 32-bit honest and integer array. So from like 4 to 16, I am going to use another data type, and so on. We can plan that buffer memory that we have in our hand, and how we'll create a view to manipulate those exact boundaries of those memory. So, obviously, if we create a typed array, as I said, we cannot perform any array operations into those typed arrays. So, how do we access it? How do I run like post pop operations or any array methods, like anything? So we have to convert to normal arrays. So there are like 2 to 3 types to do it. So the easiest one is obviously the spread operator. You can like just use the spread operator to convert it to normal array, or you can get a array from the typed array using array.form. Okay. So next part we are going to discuss the code only, like how to implement an typed array. We'll see it in action. So please see the next one so that we will understand the better understanding of the typed array. Thank you.